Donald Trump is a street fighter.
Donald Trump learned a crucial lesson as a child.
Do whatever you have to do. You say whatever you have to say. Winning is everything.
Donald Trump is a major deal maker, and he has made his money mainly from Manhattan real estate.
Trump, 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 Trump. His name is his power.
He realized what Americans really loved was celebrity. If you were a celebrity, everything was possible. You're fired. You're fired. You're fired.
And if people mocked him,
Donald Trump is here tonight. He certainly would bring some change to the White House.
he should fight back.
I am officially running for President of the United States.
Here comes the war of the Trumps.
It was war, and they were determined to win it. You don't know what he's going to do next. You don't know what's going to happen to him next.
At 78 years old, still tirelessly working with the ambition to make America achieve the dream of becoming the greatest nation. That is Donald Trump, a name synonymous with wealth, power, and controversy. From a famous businessman to the 45th President of the United States, his journey is a dramatic story with far-reaching impacts on America and the world. Regarding his past, he was born on June 14, 1946 in Queens, New York, into a wealthy family. His father, Fred Trump, was a successful real estate developer at that time. He studied at the New York Military Academy and then graduated from the Wharton School of Finance at the University of Pennsylvania in 1968. Afterward, he joined his father's company, Trump Management, and quickly expanded business operations to Manhattan, renaming it the Trump Organization in 1971. He became famous for building Trump-branded buildings like Trump Tower, Trump Plaza, and expanding into hotels, casinos, and golf courses. He became a reality TV star with the show The Apprentice from 2004 to 2015, which helped solidify his image as a successful businessman. However, he faced many controversies and financial failures, including bankruptcies of several casinos and family business projects. But that was not the end. With almost zero political experience, he stepped into politics and declared his presidential candidacy in 2015 with the slogan, "Make America Great Again," attracting attention with his blunt and controversial style. He defeated rivals in the Republican Party and won against Hillary Clinton in the 2016 election, becoming the 45th President of the United States. It was one of the most controversial elections in modern history. From the very beginning, President Donald Trump announced his intention to reform the U.S. tax system to promote economic growth and create jobs for Americans. In 2017, he signed the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act, TCJA, one of the largest tax reforms in U.S. history. This law reduced corporate tax rates from 35% to 21%, lowered individual income tax rates, and increased tax deductions for middle-class families. The goal was to stimulate investment, promote production, and increase household income. However, the policy was widely criticized for favoring large corporations and the wealthy, while increasing the national budget deficit by trillions of dollars. Median household income rose but unevenly, and income inequality remained a hot-button issue in American society. At the same time, Trump began a campaign to repeal iconic policies of former President Barack Obama, especially in the fields of environment and healthcare. With the slogan of putting America first,
And we will make America great again. Thank you, Ohio. Thank you. Thank you very much.
he withdrew the U.S. from the Paris Agreement on climate change, arguing that the agreement was unfair, harmed the U.S. economy, and did not strictly bind major countries like China and India. The Trump administration repealed Obama's Clean Power Plan, reduced emission standards, and loosened regulations on the oil and gas industry. In healthcare, he attempted to repeal the Affordable Care Act, Obamacare, cut budgets and subsidies, while expanding short-term insurance and lower-cost alternatives. These moves aimed to reduce the federal government's role in healthcare and promote free markets, but caused significant controversy and concerns about many Americans losing access to care. When the COVID-19 pandemic broke out in early 2020, the U.S. under Trump's leadership faced one of the most severe health and economic crises in history. The initial response was seen as slow and poorly coordinated between federal and state governments. Trump often downplayed the virus's danger, dismissed mask wearing, and caused mixed messages in public communications. However, the Operation Warp Speed campaign was launched to accelerate vaccine research and development, leading to emergency approvals of Pfizer-BioNTech and Moderna vaccines within less than a year. Unemployment hit 14.7% in April 2020, the highest since the Great Depression, before gradually recovering. Trump's handling of the crisis remained controversial, with many believing political divisions and lack of unified leadership worsened the situation. From the beginning of his presidency, Trump openly criticized NATO allies for not contributing enough to defense spending, accusing the U.S. of bearing too much financial burden. He demanded member countries spend at least 2% of their GDP on defense, sometimes pushing for as high as 5%. His warnings were not idle threats. He repeatedly threatened to withdraw the U.S. from NATO if allies did not comply. Yet his pressure led to noticeable results. Many NATO countries, especially in Europe, increased defense spending in subsequent years. While this was a strong tactic, it sparked controversy regarding approach and the impact on alliance unity. Trump also pushed NATO to broaden its scope to address new threats like terrorism and migration, calling for enhanced technology capabilities and intelligence sharing. Overall, Trump's tenure forced NATO to reshape itself, facing financial pressure and profound political and geopolitical disagreements. After losing the 2020 presidential election to Joe Biden, Trump and his allies made unsubstantiated claims of widespread election fraud. During the congressional certification of election results, thousands of Trump supporters gathered in Washington, D.C., responding to his call to fight to save America. The rally quickly turned into a riot as the crowd breached security, attacked police, and stormed the Capitol, the symbol of American democracy. The riot lasted hours, leaving 5 dead, including a police officer, and many injured. Over 1,000 people were prosecuted for charges ranging from unlawful entry to conspiracy to overthrow the government. Politically, Trump was impeached a second time by the House on charges of inciting insurrection, becoming the first U.S. president impeached twice. However, he was acquitted in the Senate trial due to insufficient votes for conviction. The event deeply impacted American society, highlighting political polarization, shaken trust in institutions, and the challenges facing democracy. It also served as a stark warning about the fragility of democratic systems, demanding vigilance and unity across society. The relationship between Donald Trump and Elon Musk is complex, reflecting the intricate interplay of politics and technology in the 21st century. Initially, Musk criticized Trump's policies, especially the withdrawal from the Paris Agreement and Trump's exit from the Economic Advisory Council. However, in Trump's second term starting in 2025, they showed signs of cooperation. Trump appointed Musk as head of the newly established Government Efficiency Agency, DOJ, aimed at cutting federal spending and improving government performance. Under Trump, Tesla received substantial government support, including retaining tax credits for electric vehicles, helping Tesla maintain leadership in the green car market. The Trump administration also expanded cooperation with SpaceX in space exploration. SpaceX secured major NASA and Department of Defense contracts for developing and transporting astronauts to the International Space Station. Despite collaboration, concerns about Musk's business dealings in China led Trump to limit Musk's involvement in China-related meetings. Still, their partnership symbolized a new era. In connection with the relationship between Donald Trump and Elon Musk, Twitter had been Donald Trump's most important communication channel during his presidency, with over 88 million followers. However, after the January 6, 2021 riot, Twitter permanently suspended the account at Trump, citing concerns that he could incite further violence. In 2022, Elon Musk, both as an individual and investor, acquired Twitter for around $44 billion, promising to create a more free speech-oriented social platform. Shortly after taking over, Musk fired several top executives and conducted a poll on Twitter to decide whether or not to reinstate Donald Trump's account. With 51.8% of votes in favor, Musk decided to restore the @Trump account. But Trump initially declined to return to Twitter and continued using his own platform, Truth Social. It wasn't until August 2023 that Trump posted for the first time on Twitter after nearly 2 years. Trump's first term witnessed significant economic achievements. About 6.7 million new jobs were created between 2010 and early 2020, before the COVID-19 pandemic. Unemployment fell to a historic low of 3.5%, the lowest in 50 years, signaling a robust labor market recovery. The S&P 500 stock index rose 68% during his tenure, reflecting investor confidence and economic strength. Real GDP grew approximately 5.1% despite global uncertainties. However, economic success came with challenges. National debt soared from $20 trillion to nearly $28 trillion, burdening the country financially more than any time since World War II. Income inequality had also worsened, creating a deep societal divide and posing an ongoing dilemma. In addition to economics, Trump's term saw notable events. Similarly, on July 13, 2024, while campaigning in Butler, Pennsylvania, Donald Trump was shot in the right ear. Amid the chaos, with blood still flowing, he did not lie down or retreat. Instead, he raised his fist to the sky and shouted, "Fight! Fight! Fight!" That image was compared to Winston Churchill amid the rubble of World War II or Reagan after the 1981 assassination attempt. Captured on film and spread around the world, it became a painting and ultimately a bronze statue, placed in the center of the Oval Office as a living medal. Trump didn't just survive, he seized control of that moment. In political psychology, such physical symbolic acts shape voter perception faster than any speech could. I was attacked, but I didn't succumb. I won't stop. I am a survivor, and I will continue to fight. That's what Trump conveyed with just a raised fist. Donald Trump, a figure who shook America and the world in the 21st century. He is a symbol of strong innovation, but also a representation of deep division. From a billionaire businessman to a controversial president, from bold economic policies to unprecedented events in history, Trump has left an indelible mark. No matter where you stand, it's undeniable that he changed the way America sees itself and the world. And the story of Donald Trump is still being written.